Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with another reading. This time it's on Ice Spice, the people's princess. So, everyone wants to know if she's an industry plant. Currently, there's a lot of drama because she just did a collab with Taylor Swift on Karma after allegedly Taylor Swift's new boo, Maddie Helly, said some not so nice things about Ice. So people are saying, is it damage control or not? But the number one thing people ask me is she an industry plant? Because she blew up overnight. She's got one song or two songs, and she's everywhere. And she was at the Met Gala and all this other stuff. So people are just shook and want to know what's going on, Miss Mama. So I don't know if y'all are really into Ice Spice like that or not. So I guess we'll do a test here to see if this is even interesting to you guys. So remember, these readings are all alleged for tapers only, and let's get started. Oh, Jesus. I threw the cards at myself. Okay. All right, so let's start off by asking the question on everybody's tongue. Is Ice Spice an industry plant? Okay, Knight of Wands reversed, Death card reversed, Two of Swords, King of Wands. Okay. Here's what I can tell you. The Knight of Wands, when it's reversed, is... So when a Knight of Wands is upright, right, you think of that as someone that's like going after something or someone that's trying to start something, right? But it's reversed. So it's an inadvertent stepping on toes. So when you ask the question, is someone an industry plant, and the first card that you pull is something that's a byproduct of something else, then there's something else going on here. So we keep going. The Death card. The Death card is a death and a rebirth. So there's some sort of transition or change. So basically her blow up is a cause or a reaction, of some sort of switch up or change behind the scenes, Two of Swords. Because the Two of Swords says that we made a new decision. So we went from left to right. And the King of Wands is reversed. So the King of Wands being reversed is someone else here. And someone else here who's trying to cause a problem with others. So for me, there seems to have been an active decision behind the scenes from someone. It's a potential fire sign, potential male, but either way, it doesn't matter. It's a passionate person, King of Wands reversed, behind the scenes that actively is pushing her instead of someone else. So there's someone else here that was favored. There's someone else who was supposed to have this push behind them. But behind the scenes, they are no longer favored. Alleged for tapers only. They are no longer favored. And so in comes the new. It reminds me of the Idol Factory in K-pop, where someone very similar to them is brought in who's younger, fresher, hotter, skinnier, whatever, because the old talent is no longer doing what they asked them to do. So do I think that she's an industry plant? It would depend on your definition of industry plant. I don't think that she's necessarily aware of what's going on. I think she benefited from being in the right place at the right time. Temperance card, exactly. I'm pouring into your cup what I would have poured into another's. And justice being reversed, okay, is things that are not fair. And contract disputes. So other people are pissed off at their contracts. Other people aren't willing to do what they're told. And she is, the Ace of Cups. They love her because she says yes to everything. They love her because she's willing to do whatever it takes to be successful. It reminds me a lot of Kim Kardashian and Lady Gaga when they were blowing up and they were like, I'm willing to do anything for fame. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Ice Spice has the same mentality where she just is going to say absolutely yes to absolutely everything. And she's not going to cause a problem. So she's not like, oh, maybe. She's not, no, I'm not doing that. If you asked her to do something, she will run and do it. So, I mean, more props to her. I think that's the mentality you need to have to be massively successful. Three of Cups, Knight of Cups, and Eight of Cups. Yes, so obviously there's a lot of jealousy between her and a lot of other girlies right now. The Knight of Cups and the Eight of Cups says she needs to be careful because everyone is being nice to her because she's blowing up now, but now there's a huge target on her back. And Eight of Cups and Knight of Cups tells me that there are other girls that were the chosen ones before her that are probably going to throw some shots at her pretty soon. I'd be surprised if she wasn't in a public beef or some sort of diss track or some sort of interview comes from someone else, because it definitely seems like someone who's been chosen before is like, oh, you're the new girl. You know, you're being hazed and you don't realize it. So it definitely looks like a lot of these girls, instead of helping each other, are bitter at each other, which honestly, low-key, don't blame them. Ooh. I feel like I'd be the same way. Every man for themselves. Yeah, I mean, the Wheel of Fortune, she's got the golden ticket. The High Priestess, I told you, right place, right time. The Hangman is reversed, which says that she's making it easy for them to let go of other people because she's willing to do what they are not willing to do. So that's really what it is. She's absolutely willing to do whatever it takes and say yes to everything that other girlies are not. I will say, though, that I do see a hiccup for her. I'm a little bit worried about a debut album for her. There's some sort of concern here with actually producing like hits and things like that and stuff like that. It looks like there's a little bit of a hang up here. I think they're worried about her sound because the Wheel of Fortune Hangman reverse is like, how do we differentiate her sound from everyone else? There's a conversation being had about how to properly market her sound. Because what they're looking at right now is like, how do we give her fan base? Like, what is going to be her fan base? What's the demographic? You know, she's not a Nicki Minaj, you know, she's not rapping and writing like Nicki Minaj, right? Is she going more the Doja Cat route? Is she going more the Megan Thee Stallion route? Like, what is she going to be? I think they're really trying to figure that out because right now she's nailed the aesthetic and right now she's nailed the vibe, but she hasn't really nailed the content. So they're worried about her hitting a wall. But I think that's why they're trying to establish her as a big name so that if they do hit that creative wall, she'll still have pull. It's like having her as an influencer, basically. Two of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, and Five of Wands. There's a big brand that wants to work with her. To me, this is like a commercial or something. Like, it reminds me of when people did proactive commercials back in the day. I see a big brand wanting to work with her and her being the face of a brand soon. Some sort of campaign. I think that it was supposed to go to someone else and then it didn't. And then it comes to her. Ice Spice is, okay. I completely understand why people in the industry do not like her now. So she collects the leftovers of everybody else. That is exactly why they don't like her. I can literally hear other girlies being like, this bitch eats my crumbs. Like, this bitch just picks up the crumbs off the floor. And to be honest with you, yeah, she is. When you say no to something, when you don't want to do something, when you're not interested in something, or when something doesn't work out, in comes Ice Spice. She says yes. And, you know, she comes in and she picks up the crumbs. And she makes lemons into lemonade. I mean, I'm not mad at her, to be honest. As much as I'd like to be mad at her, I would do the same thing if I was her. Yeah, I mean, Eight of Wands upright, Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the Star reversed. The other girls really don't like her, though. I'm telling you right now, other celebrities, they're not really fucking with her like that because, again, they're like, she blew up really fast. Eight of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, which says you don't have the credentials, right? You don't have the music, you don't have the writing, nothing's there. And the Stars reversed, which says that they feel like she's just like hype. You know, I mean, I can hear the girls being like, this bottom feeding bitch, but I mean, at the end of the day, you would do the same thing if you were in her position. It's not her fault. You need to be looking at the people behind the scenes that are giving her those opportunities, that are pushing her like that. You put enough money behind someone, they'll be successful. Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and King of Swords. Oh yeah, there's totally some very powerful person behind the scenes that absolutely thinks it's hilarious that Ice Spice being successful gets under the skin of another female musician here. Absolutely. Gets like joy out of them being angry and thinks it's really funny. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that era of Tommy Mottola, whatever his name is, Mottola, and Mariah Carey and J-Lo. Does anyone remember that? Did I age myself? Allegedly, for Chambers only. Like, it reminds me of that. Like, it reminds me of that era where it was like, you know, I'm going to raise someone else and we could always replace. Like, it's giving me that. Does she write her own stuff, or are they giving her leftover tracks too? I'm not sure. All right, Page of Pentacles upright, Hermit, and Two of Cups. There's currently a discussion about whether or not they should leave her alone or if they should push her with another celebrity. So I'm not sure if that ends up being like Pink Panthers and getting them to be like a duo consistently, or if that's translating to trying to get her to like fake date someone for clout. I can't really tell, but that's there. Can't tell if it's career related or romantic related because it's connected to the career regardless. So if it is romantic, it would be like, who can we get her to fake date? But it might also just literally be like, how do we recreate Boy's a Liar for the third time? Six of Cups, Page of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Here's what I will say about Ice Spice. I do see her as willing to do whatever it takes to be famous and be successful, but I also seeing her give respect to people that do things for her. So like, I don't really see her being fake to people that have helped her. Or like I see her giving credit. Like if someone wrote something, I think she'd give it credit. Like Six of Cups and Page of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles tells me she's not trying to burn bridges. So to me, the word I hear is easy to work with. So it just feels like to me she's not super confrontational from what I'm seeing here. I'm not seeing like a giant ego. I'm seeing someone who's eager. Honestly, I'm going to be very honest. I'm in her energy now. She seems nice. And I mean this in the most respectful way, but I would not say that she's always the most savvy. She feels naive. Like, I think some things go above her head sometimes. Like, they go over her head. So I don't think she realizes sometimes, like if someone's being nice to you, like if someone was being nice to her, but they were doing it for malicious reasons, she would just be like, that person's so nice to me, and not really think hard about the fact that they're being nice to her because they want something. Do you know what I mean? So I guess I would say naive and innocent is probably the energy that I would say that she has. I definitely feel like she's a very wear my heart on my sleeve type of person. But whatever, I mean, she's young. Her energy's lovely, though. I'm not gonna lie, she has a lovely energy. I don't think she really realizes that she's in a swarm of chaos, though. Chariot's reverse, Seven of Swords is upright, and the Ten of Swords is reverse. Self-sabotage. So she's gonna get imposter syndrome pretty soon. So that's gonna be something she's gonna have to work through. I mean, that happens to anyone who blows up overnight. She has something in her past that she doesn't want out. And oop, girl. So Devil card, Seven of Wands versus Magician. There's some tea about her backstory and her. Maybe she has like an old Tumblr or old tweets or an old blog or something or an old video or something that is going to be controversial when it leaks. Unless they pay somebody off for this allegedly. But she definitely has some sus shit in her past. To me, she seems like a funny girl, like a goofy girl. So it seems like she may have said something as like a joke or something. But that's why I'm like, I see like Tumblr. So I'm like, girl, what did you do? Yeah. Emperor, World upright, and the Ten of Cups. I just see them really pushing her to work with other people. Now, I know that's about features. Is it possible that they want her to do a full album with someone else? Like her and Pink Panthers do an album together? Like, I just see them being like, wouldn't it be cool if you were like with someone else consistently? They just want to like pair her up. It's weird. It's like Bonnie and Clyde is what I'm seeing. It's like two peas in a pod. Yeah, do you see what I mean? Something old returning, you and someone else, but how do we make it so you don't step on each other's toes? And Seven of Pentacles, how do we make it comfortable? It's like, how do we recreate this moment over and over and over again with her and someone else? I don't know who it is. I'm assuming it's Pink Panthers. Might be somebody else. It's just like, I want to recreate this magic over and over and over again. Unless it's like Nicki Minaj, because I know they did that song together, but there's just something like, unless there's going to be a focus as a whole in the industry and keeping all the girls together. So back in the day, okay, there was a K-pop moment where they made a song called Dazzling Red, and they got some of the best or most popular idols from each group together and made its own group. Okay? And they made a song. And it was filled with all of like the top idols from a ton of different groups. That's what this reminds me of. How can we pull people together and push them together from separate industries or separate lanes and keep them together? So like, you know, let's make an album full of collabs, and like this is going to be the part where it's Ice Spice and Pink Panthers, and this is going to be the part where it's Nicki Minaj and, you know, fucking Doja Cat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking that there's some sort of project in the works that they're talking about, and they feel like Ice Spice is the best person to use to launch something like that. So I think that would be cool and innovative. So I don't know. But other than that, I mean, things seem pretty good for her. I don't really see too many other issues. So I guess that's the answer there. Is she an industry plant? Kind of, but it's not her fault. So yeah, I mean, that's it. Remember, if you like these, you can tip. There's a link to my PayPal down below. It's news with the heart says thanks to you directly. Follow me Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Antphrodite. Go to Antphrodite.com. Private readings have started. They sold out instantly, but I'm going to try and better the system. But check Antphrodite.com. The revamp on the website is coming, and private readings are in rotation already. Yeah, until next time. Bye, guys.